Hello, my friends. What's up? My name is Josh. I'm your push coach, and I have a very just really interesting slash challenging episode. And challenging, I mean for me. I mean, I don't know, maybe it'll end up challenging you too. No idea. I am the push coach, but it's challenging for me. And here's why. A lot of you know um last week Beachbody announced that they were completely doing away with their network marketing model, which means friends of mine that I've known for years are literally having their entire income just wiped out. To make matters worse, okay, they are moving to an affiliate option, which I can understand. If that's what you have to do to save the company, makes sense. I get it. A couple companies have had to do that. But here's where it gets real sketchy for me. Um, they also announced that starting, I believe it's November 1st, they're wiping the entire customer slate completely clean. In other words, even if you choose to stick with the company for the new affiliate model, all of the customers you have acquired, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, are being completely wiped away, and everyone has to start over from scratch. So the people who are sticking around are literally having to make posts and send emails trying to explain this craziness to their current customers and say, listen, this model is going to stick around and I'm still here to support you. But on this date, you have to cancel the subscription that you already have and then go start a new one with me, which is just, that's the part that's insane. Just in my opinion, just absolutely insane. Meanwhile, the CEO is on a cruise this week that was supposed to be a leadership cruise to celebrate all of the things that they've accomplished together. It's just really, really weird. And I just want to say one more time, this is a very, very, very challenging episode for me because of the close friends that I've had for years. And so the first thing that I just really want to do is just send my love and my sympathy and a big fucking hug to everyone out there that was connected to this company. There are a few people that I've seen that saying it's for the good because they never built a team anyways, and this means they get higher affiliate commission and don't have to build a team. And I get it. At the same time, if all of the customers you've worked your ass off to accumulate over the years is getting wiped and you have to start over from scratch, I don't even see how it's a good thing for those people. Like, even if you do want to do the affiliate model. So I just want to just send so much freaking love to everyone out there that this affected in any way. Some of you don't know this, but just want to kind of give my history with Beachbody. Back in 2014, I got certified through John Maxwell. Tried to build a business in person. Didn't go very well. Didn't have my gray hair or my beard back then. So I looked like a 12-year-old kid trying to life coach, 50-year-old CEOs and business owners. It just wasn't a good fit. So I went online 2015. Started connecting with a lot of people in the network marketing world. And one of the really big connections that I made was with some people in the Beachbody world. I helped one of my very first clients to go top 10 in the company. From there, my name really blew up, and I helped another person go top 10 the following year. And I kind of became like the mentor that the 6 and 7 figure earners would reach out to for personal support, for like one-on-one life, business, and leadership coaching. And so I have this really cool history with a lot of people in the company. Now, I will say that on the corporate side, no one ever really accepted me or liked me. And I don't know if that's because they were intimidated by me. I don't know if it's because, they offered free mentors and then people were paying me money instead of using their free mentor. I did have a little, probably didn't help the matter when I wrote a couple paragraphs in my book, F Leadership, talking about how corporate mentors, don't really make sense to me. These are people who have never actually built a business trying to give people advice about growing a business. For a lot of them, like literally their cover photo is like a program launch from 3 years ago. It's like, so you guys don't even use social media, and you're trying to mentor people that build businesses on social media. That's just a weird dynamic to me. And the reality is, as many of you know, I've never built a network marketing business either, but I got started using life coaching to help people. And I wasn't promising that I was a business mentor. I was literally going in as a life coach. And then those principles ended up working well enough to help people create success. And so I have a really, really, really long list of testimonials that have just proven that the principles and the systems and the things I teach work well in that in that world. And so it's a real weird thing for me because I had so many good friends. I worked with so many different top leaders. I mean, I think back in like 2016, at one point, I was working with like 12 different people that had at some point been top 10 in that company. Over time, I started diversifying. I said, you know what? I want to see if these principles and these lessons work in other companies. And they did. I went and launched a group specifically for, it was a cosmetics, I should say, a cosmetics and skincare company. And I helped 2 people in that company to go top 10. I was like, okay, so these are definitely global principles within the network marketing world. I'm going to keep putting them out there, keep connecting with leaders in different companies. Now I actually run a program called the 6-Figure Inner Circle. That is a group for 6-figure earners from all different companies. I think we've got 5 different companies represented within that. And then, you know, as far as all of my programs, we've got probably 15 to 20 different companies that are represented. But like really for me, my proving ground, if you will, was working with Beachbody coaches, and they were the kind of like the first world that really accepted me and gave me a place. I traveled around the country and spoke at retreats that different leaders would put on. I spoke at events that different leaders would put on. And so I just had this really, really cool connection with the Beachbody world that I'll always be incredibly thankful for. And the really weird thing was when I saw the announcement, like, I don't currently actually work with more than 2 or 3 people from that company, but it literally felt like someone had just announced that I lost part of my business, which is just such a weird confliction of feelings to be like, this isn't even about me. This is about a whole bunch of friends that I have, but somehow it feels like it's about me. And so it was this really weird, I had to really, really process for a few days, because it was just like one of those things where like, it's almost like having a friend that you haven't that you were really, really, really close with for a lot of years, and you still have connections to the friend. You know, you still call each other every couple of months, and every time you chat, you know, it's kind of like you got this long history, and then that friend passes away, and even though you aren't necessarily still connected the way you used to be connected, it was still this really important and significant relationship in your life. And I get that a business, you know, or a company, I should say, going away is not the same as a human being going away. I'm not in any way saying that I actually know what it feels like to lose someone close to you. Or I'm not trying to say that it's the same. Just saying, like, to me, it felt that way. And it really sucked. It really, really, really sucked. And I'm still processing it, to be honest. And I don't know, probably the worst part of it, in my opinion, is just anyone that's trying to put a positive spin on it. It's like, listen, guys, some things in life just suck. That's what it is. We don't have to put a positive spin on it. We don't have to try to pretend it was a great thing. We don't have to try to pretend that, like, Carl is a good guy in the name of the CEO. We don't have to pretend he's a good guy because of all the good things he used to do. Like, if someone does something awful and terrible to you, you don't have to try to hold on to the good memories. You can just realize, listen, there were a lot of good memories, and this person just did something absolutely awful and terrible. And so that's just that we don't need to put a positive spin on it. We don't need to try to pretend that this was good for anybody. It really wasn't. It was really terrible for everyone. And that really, really sucks. But I do want to kind of go in a different direction. Otherwise, this episode's just going to be like the most depressing thing anyone has ever listened to. And I don't want to do that to anyone's day either. So let's talk about what it means to the industry, because there's a whole lot of people with a whole lot of opinions right now. And I don't know if anybody really gives a shit about my opinion, but I know that some people look to me. And so I want to honor that place and just give what I believe from my perspective. And there is no right or wrong, good or bad here, but just in my perspective as someone who works with a lot of people in a lot of companies, this is what I think it means about the industry. I think the only thing it actually means about the industry is that there are a few companies who grew so freaking big, so freaking fast that when as many of you know, 2020 was one of the best years ever for online business, and then 2021 was one of the worst years ever for online business, right? And I just think that there were some companies who got so freaking big that they were just like thriving at such a crazy level during the best times of the economy that they were just not prepared for the other side of that. And just as someone who has friends in the company, I will also tell you this, because I think some people, this is what I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, the whole network marketing industry is collapsing and falling apart. And I think maybe Chalene Johnson mentioned something in her podcast about like, this is the future, is people becoming affiliates. And I'll just be super real. I don't agree with that. I don't agree. Do I think there's going to be more affiliate oriented companies than we've ever seen before? Absolutely. But I don't think that that means that network marketing is going away. And, you know, it's kind of like the car industry. Are there going to be more hybrid and electric options? Of course there are. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean gas cars are going away. I mean, obviously, if they make it illegal, they will go away. But I personally drive a Bronco, and I don't want an electric Bronco because sometimes I'm out on trails off-roading for like 7 hours and I don't want to have to worry about whether or not I can pull over and charge someone in the somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So there's always going to be new things that come, but that doesn't necessarily mean that old things just automatically die. Okay. Now, sometimes when things don't grow or evolve enough, they do die. That's something I literally told to my leaders a few weeks ago. I said, listen, you either adapt or you die. And the one thing I'll say as someone who, again, knows a lot of people in that company is like backside of the pandemic, online business has a really, really, really big struggle. And I've watched Beachbody for a lot of years. And there were several years where there would be one big split in a year. Like one top leader would leave for another company, talk a whole bunch of shit about Beachbody and take a whole bunch of people with him. Okay. And that always hurt and affected the livelihoods of people closely connected to that individual leader that took people with them. But it never really was enough to just like hurt the whole company. Well, over the last 2 or 3 years, I've watched as top leader after top leader after top leader after top leader after top leader has left to go to other companies and take people with them. And while a really solid company can handle 1 or 2 big splits a year, I don't think there's any company in the world that can handle 20 splits over the course of a few years. No one can handle that, right? And so on one hand, like the only reason I'm giving this inside information, I hope, is to calm your nerves and your fear about what it means for the industry. Because I just personally am working right now with a lot of people in a lot of healthy companies where people are growing, people are thriving, people are seeing their team grow and their income grow and the company revenue grow. And I just think it's absolutely insane to say, okay, Beachbody went to an affiliate model. What was the other one? Roden and Fields went to a affiliate model. There's a couple more. I'm losing them off the top of my head, but there's like 4 different main companies that everyone in the world has heard of. And in my opinion, that's why people are overreacting right now, not because the industry as a whole is going away, but because a few of the really big pillar names that everyone knows gone away. And I'll just tell you this about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, its job is to keep you safe, which means it's always looking for the worst case scenario because it's looking for a reason to go hide in the cave. And so some people are currently thinking, well, if the network marketing world is going away, I shouldn't be building a team because that's a disservice to people. And I actually kind of take the opposite take. And the take that I take is this. The take that I take is this. Anytime you as a leader are rising up to help people and build a community and give people an opportunity, you are doing a good thing. The reality is there is a ton of people. Imagine if none of those people would have ever built a team. Like imagine if we could go back in time, okay? And I know enough of the top leaders from Beachbody to know exactly what the answer is to the question I'm about to ask. But we go back in time and we say, listen, you're about to spend 10 years with a company that after 10 years is going to shut down in a really dramatic fashion and kind of screw you over. Okay. Do you want to continue on the path you are currently on of living life paycheck to paycheck or working a job that you hate or being a stay-at-home mom who has no income opportunities, like from home or like whatever that situation is? I want you to imagine that I can give you 10 years of personal growth, of health growth, of building a powerful community, of going to an amazing events, of going on cruises, of doing all of these amazing things. And by the way, when it's done and you get screwed over by your company, you can reach out to these people who love you and trust you and move on to something that is healthier, that is up and coming, and has another 5 years in it, 10 years in it, 20 years in it, whatever that is. Would you still make the decision to do this? And I'd be willing to bet that 99 out of 100 people would say, absolutely, I still want to do this. Because it's the thing that's going to change my life. It's the thing that's going to change their lives. It's the thing that introduced us to this new world of abundance and opportunity and possibility. And if you're a leader right now that's like, I don't even know if I feel like if it's more of like an integrity thing, like I don't know if I feel good integrity about taking someone to a new company, or maybe you're, the leader in a company. You're like, I don't know if I want to bring people on board anymore. I don't know what's happening. Here's the thing I would ask you. If all you ever do is give people an opportunity to be introduced to personal growth and a life of abundance and fulfillment, how could that be wrong? I'll never forget John Maxwell saying this. He said, some people say that we're doing more harm than good by introducing people to personal growth because some of them aren't going to go make millions of dollars. And he said, let me ask you this. If all we ever did was helped people to focus on their personal growth and become greater leaders who take more ownership and control of the areas in their life, but they never make $1 million, did we hurt anyone? It was like, well, no, we didn't hurt people. We helped them. He said, then why in the world would we ever stop doing what we are doing? And that's my challenge to you today. I figured at some point, some type of a challenge would come out. My challenge to you is if you're a leader, do not allow yourself to be pulled into a place of scarcity. Because the reality is this is a very, very abundant world. And there's so many chances and so many opportunities. And maybe 5 years from now, you do decide that you want to just launch courses and create your own brand and do your own thing. Cool. That's awesome. You can do that too. Maybe 5 years from now, you decide that the company you're with isn't awesome and isn't growing and isn't thriving and you want to go somewhere else. Cool. You can do that too. But please, 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 whatever you do decide to do it from a place of faith and abundance, not a place of fear and scarcity. Okay. And it's 1,000,000% okay. I have a couple friends really close to that are saying, you know what, I never want to build a team again. That's not the part of the business I loved. I'm just going to go launch some group coaching programs. That's okay too. Okay. I am not here to tell anyone what is right or wrong to do with the rest of their lives. I'm only challenging you to make whatever decision you make from a place of faith and abundance, not from a place of fear and scarcity. And if you follow faith and abundance, this is literally what we teach in our life coach certification, that we have a head voice and a heart voice. And the head voice is the subconscious. It's the caveman DNA. It's trying to keep you safe. And it's using fear and doubt and judgment and shame to try to scare you back into the cave. But we don't live in freaking caveman days anymore, okay? So we don't need to operate from that place all the time. We still need it in case a car pulls out in front of us, absolutely, but we don't need to operate from that place. We need to operate from our heart voice, which is pointing to the future, and it's rooted in abundance and expresses itself through hope and strength and purpose and faith and love. And when we live from that place, we do the things that are best for us and the people we care about. You will never, ever, ever do what's best for others by living in a place of fear. All right. I love you guys so much. I hope that in some way this episode helped you. I don't know if it was more for you or more for me to just process some of the shit going on in my own head. I process things out loud sometimes. So sometimes I just need to record it and put it out to the world. So maybe this was good for you. Maybe it was just a personal diary entry from Josh. But regardless, sending all of my love to all of my Beachbody friends, but also sending so much love to everyone else in the industry that maybe felt shook by this, that maybe felt rocked by this. And I just want to send my love to you. I want to send my strength, life, energy, and purpose. My mission statement says that I am an energetic force of light, pushing others to reach their full potential. And I just want to extend that energetic force of light to you today. I want to fill you with so much hope, with so much strength, with so much purpose, with so much love to go be a leader. Because being a leader, it's fucking hard. But the world needs us. So thank you today for being a leader. Thank you for doing what's best for you and others, even when it's hard. I love you so much. Have an incredible day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, friends.